If you didn't subscribe our channel yet, please subscribe our channel, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get our latest updates. People on the scariest experience of their life, that can only be attributed to the paranormal. These stories from askreddit will turn you from a skeptic to a believer. Number 1. Smoke suddenly filled the entire room. Me and my buddy were playing SNES in my room, yeah, I'm that old, when suddenly, the room filled with thick and hazy cigarette smoke. The smell of nicotine was overpowering and we were both really confused as nobody in my family ever smoked and we lived in a detached house, so it couldn't have been the neighbors either. The smoke hung around for about a minute, then it cleared and vanished as suddenly as it had arrived. Later that afternoon, we found out that my friend's mom had used a Ouija board to contact her father, my friend's grandfather, who had died a year previously from lung cancer. Apparently he smoked 60 a day and always smelled like cigarettes. She was unable to contact him that day, but that's the only explanation I have for the weirdness. Number 2. I had a reoccurring dream about a family being tortured and killed. I don't know if I would say the only possibility is paranormal, but it was damn weird. I have had several dreams similar to what I am posting. I've been a caver in Florida for about 13 years, since I was about 6, and have been to a lot of caves. Never been afraid before this to go in one. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, I started having this reoccurring dream. I would have it at least twice a year, always the same even though I would realize I was dreaming after the first few iterations. I would fall asleep and dream of being in a cave and going into this little hole in the bottom. Inside I would see a 10 to 15 foot long corridor about 2 to 4 feet high. At the end it would always turn left, and I always saw a bent red stop sign at the end, like someone ripped off the top 2 feet and tossed it in. But I would always follow the corridor. I would turn and walk past the sign despite being scared, despite many times knowing what was there, and the corridor would start descending, quickly opening up into a large vertical chamber with a path leading down in a corkscrew. Everything became blurry at this point, but it was always the same. I saw trash scattered on the walls. I saw the pit leading down to a curved floor. I saw things, undefined, animals or people or something else at the bottom. And I saw my family, each with one of the things, being tortured and killed. Every time. And I could never do anything. After I saw that, I would be stuck for a few seconds until I felt more than saw everything turn and look at me. And I would wake up. Not like a normal dream where you just drift to consciousness or a nightmare where you bolt up in fear, but like something pushed me out. Like I wasn't supposed to be there. So I have this dream multiple times a year until I turned 15. My father decided to take us to some caves we never had been before. One of which was Dog Drop. It was likely named so because someone either threw their pet in there or a coyote fell in and the body was later discovered. Dog Drop had a roughly 30-foot rappel straight down to enter. I went down with my brother while my father waited up at the top. There was a hole in the ground. I started to feel uneasy though I didn't know why. So I followed my brother into the hole. I felt worse as I moved down. And when I looked up I saw the same corridor, the same turn, the same wall, the same bottles at the corner. And I instantly was hit with this overwhelming sense of nausea and fear and being watched and everything was screaming at me to leave. I froze and must have made some noise because my brother turned around and asked what was wrong. I managed to say I wanted to leave now and climbed out as quickly as I could, followed immediately by my brother. We packed up and left, never have gone back and never will. Haven't told anyone what actually happened, just said I wasn't feeling well, and they forgot pretty quickly. The thing that really makes it creepy for me is I have never had the dream again. Year after year I would have it consistently, but it just stopped after that. But I still remember it all. And I still feel afraid, almost an external fear, when I think of it. Number 3. I heard sobbing from inside of our empty house. I woke up from a nap to the sound of my girlfriend sobbing somewhere else in the house. I got up to see what was wrong and determined the sound was coming from downstairs. I followed the sound down the spiral staircase all the way to the finished basement. The sound was definitely coming from the little half bath at the bottom of the stairs that we rarely used. The door was closed, which it never was, and I couldn't see any light under the door but the sound was very loud from the bottom of the stairs. It was about this time that I started to fully wake up and remembered my girlfriend had been leaving for the grocery store when I was starting my nap. I could see her parking spot from one of the basement windows. She wasn't back yet. I called her name and the sobbing instantly stopped. The bathroom was empty when I finally got the courage to check. Number 4. A driver mowed down a group of people, and I could have been one of them. This is in my mom's life, not mine. Once when she was a kid, she was waiting with her younger sister at the bus stop when she felt a strong craving for a candy bar. She is normally extremely cautious and responsible, but this one time she felt such a strong urge for candy that she decided to run to the nearest convenience store with her sister and get some. By the time they got back to the stop, a driver had lost control of the bus and mowed down a bunch of people there. Number 5. Something impossible happened with the jewelry on my neck. I was walking into my bedroom, just having closed the door. I felt a chill down my neck, and was frozen in fear. At that moment, my necklace that I had been wearing fell to the floor. I don't know why, but I knew something strange and terrifying had just happened. I picked up my necklace from the floor, and it was still clasped.